Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
It's time for another daily dose of dismal Disney.
Disney's gonna raise prices again.
Of course they are. Of course they.
They're saying the
Where's
quiet
the
part out
news?
loud. They don't care.
Where's the news?
I know, right?
And in other news, Disney raises prices again. Fans get mad.
Yeah. So there was just a recent USB Global Media and Communications Conference. I think it was yesterday and today.
Okay.
And yesterday they had their CFO, Hugh Johnston, get up at the thing and do a presentation. And part of the presentation, he was commenting on the fact that, Disney is such a value that we're not charging enough. Don't you know that?
We're not charging enough.
More money, guys.
We're not charging enough at Disney
because they need a way to pay for all this e-ticket. They were going to put all this money in supposedly in these e-ticket attractions, but they want you to pay more. And they're talking about how we aren't changing our value tiers. We're putting more effort into raising the price and the premium. However, if you've been to Disney, unless you pay for the upcharges, you're not going to get to do much. You still have to pay more for your base ticket, but you can't do jack shit. So it's kind of like ironic because we're not changing the value, but if you want to actually do anything, you're going to have to pay more.
Yeah, I mean, right now the value proposition at Disney is you pay over $100 to get in the damn door.
It's less for more.
Yeah, and then if you actually want to enjoy your time in the park, you have to spend more.
Right, to be able to get through the lines and everything else.
Right.
So they're not changing much in their value. They're spending most of their time focusing on raising prices and premium, but it's been to the place where you can't get anything done or you ride very few things, and definitely not the e-tickets unless you are paying an upcharge.
Yeah, and not that long ago, I mean, we're talking 5 or 6 years ago, if you planned your day accordingly, you could probably ride pretty much everything in any park on any given day without having to do that. Now it's almost a necessity.
Well, I'm waiting until they just totally block out the e-tickets and say, well, you only get on them if you pay more.
Oh, they absolutely will. It's basically going to be DLC, and it'll be like, yeah, you get in the park, and you can maybe watch the parade unless you want a really good seat, and then you got to pay more.
Well, it's like, it reminds me of Knoebels. So Knoebels, if you've ever been to Knoebels, it's a theme park in the U.S. They don't charge admission. You just pay to ride the rides, like buy tickets or whatever. You get a band, and if you want to pay if you want some of the hot rides, which whatever, you pay more. But the difference is you don't pay admission.
Yeah, so
that's the difference.
Yeah, Knoebels is interesting because you can get like the band for the day, but it doesn't include. Like, you can get two versions of it. You can get, like, the standard band and then the band that includes the big coasters.
And the haunted house.
Yeah, and the haunted house. The haunted house, I don't know if you can get banned for that. But that, you always had to pay extra. And as a kid, that always threw me, too. Because I was like, we get the band for the day. And it's like, oh, no, you still got to pay an extra $1 or $2 to ride the haunted house.
Right, because it was like everybody wanted to ride it. It was high demand.
Yeah.
The difference is you get in for free. So, people didn't want to ride. Because right now, if you want to go to Disney parks and you don't like rides, you still have to pay to get in just like everybody else. And you just don't ride rides. And that's how it was. You get in for free at Knoebels, and if you want to ride rides, you pay for the rides. Yeah. But you don't have to pay to get in. And Disney's going to make you pay to get in and pay extra to ride rides. So, before we get into it any further.
Before we get into it, we're in pretty far.
I know,
before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more
fist deep.
Fisting Mickey. Is that what you said?
Fist deep, I said.
Oh, fist deep. Oh, my God. We're up to our elbows in Mickey. So please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Go out to clownfishminus.com. You can join the Plus Club and get exclusive content. You also can buy merch. We have merch. Lots of stuff there. Thank you very much for the support. And if you prefer, you can go out to clownfishtv.locals.com. Okay.
Right. Okay, so during this UBS, Global Media and Communications Conference.
Plug and play.
Yes. They got up there and they were talking about different things. And here's what he said. We're delivering more value. Value is what you get as a consumer. Price is what you pay. That sounds like a threat. Value. We're giving you so much. We're going to have new attractions, guys, and we're giving you so much. So, you're getting a lot of value. So that means you have to pay more.
Yeah.
This is also the same place that fights off having to pay their property taxes and claiming they're not assessed fairly because they took things into consideration like their brand, because you're using the brand name, you're upcharging your hotels over all the other regular prices in the area based on your brand. We should be allowed to tax that. And they said, no, you can't do that. That's not fair.
Yeah.
Then why charge more based on your brand?
But the thing is, they're not delivering more value.
No.
They're not delivering quality like they used to. If you pull up that one tweet I saw yesterday, somebody side by side, we have the Eisner era of Disney, and I know a lot of people attack Michael Eisner, but I think
Eisner.
and this is the Bob Iger era of Disney. And
But I would argue even the new construction is very corporate-y.
Yes.
A lot of the re-themes of the hotels are very corporate-y. And then as opposed to what it used to be, which was really fun, whimsical, definitely branded Disney.
Yeah, and you can see that. Like again, the re-themes of the hotels and the look at Epcot and the Festival Center at Epcot, and it feels very sterile, and it feels like they call this one the Robert A. Iger building, and I'm like, this is very appropriate because this looks like any office building in New York. Nothing about this says Disney, whereas in the Eisner era, everything had that Disney difference. Everything looked Disney. I mean, you got freaking seven dwarves holding up the building. I mean, that's awesome, right?
Because their first big movie was Snow and the Seven Dwarves.
And he actually did acknowledge he was a huge fan of Walt Disney and what came before. And Bob Iger, no, he wants to run Disney just like any other entertainment company, and it's very sterile.
I think that someone had said. I don't know where the comment was, but somebody had said in there that Eisner was there. He wanted to be like Disney. Iger wants to it's just a footnote in his book about himself.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's Iger's all about himself. And yeah, that definitely, is there. But they're talking about, the value and stuff. And we're still focused on leaving the value. But as I said, the value tickets, the base prices, the value means you don't get the opportunities unless you pay more. It's pay to play. So you can go to the park and pay the same as everybody else when you get in the gate. And then you might get to ride 2 or 3 rides. They get to ride a bunch of rides, but it costs them the Premier Pass. It can be up to $450 a day at the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
And you're already paying ridiculous prices. Like Christmas is almost, $200 a ticket almost, just to get in the door. And that's not guaranteeing you get to get on anything unless you pay another $400 or whatever it's going to be.
Hollywood Studios, now they have, what is it, Jollywood Nights? Is that what they call it now?
Yeah.
That used to be free. All that used to be free.
But they didn't have the ice skating show, which it was not good. But they also the Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam, and all that stuff was for free. You got to get with your ticket, and now you have to pay for the Jollywood Nights to get some of the extra entertainment and stuff.
Yeah,
they added more than just that. They have characters.
Yeah, but it's not. Again, it's just they're charging you more for less, and people are feeling it. And I was out on Twitter last night. I was rendering some videos, and I was looking at the kind of landscape of Disney influencers, and a lot of them, and there's a whole thread about a lot of them are getting tired of it. They don't even want to cover Disney anymore.
Because it just keeps getting more and more egregious.
Yeah.
Well, it gets better, guys. So he also said we have to be smart about pricing. Particularly being sensitive to the consumer and the consumer who's more focused on the value end of the offer, getting just in the door. Whether we're delivering more value, we feel comfortably taking more price.
But you're not.
So basically what he's saying is a base price. We're not talking about the Premier. Because he's saying, customers are more focused. We're focused on the value end of the offer. We're delivering more value, meaning we're making more rides and want you to pay for it. We're comfortable taking more price. You're comfortable taking more price. The audience isn't. That's the problem. You guys know your attendance is down.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see if they stand by those words when Epic Universe opens and eats their lunch. Because I'm looking at Epic Universe, and it looks to me that they're providing maximum value because even the hotels are cheaper and the ticket prices are going to be cheaper, and it's way, way cooler than anything Disney's doing.
Well, a lot of times they do buy 3 days, get so many days free and all this other crap. Disney's not doing that. And Disney right now, people are going to come to Orlando anyway, right? Because they're going to come down to Epic Universe. Right now is when you should be grabbing them with discounts and deals and trying to win them over to your side, and you're not. And you're at your earnings call, your attendance is down. You keep saying that, but your price per guest is up because you keep gouging people, and you're you wear that like a badge of honor. Meanwhile, people are getting more and more disgusted with Disney. We keep seeing survey after survey where people are tired of it. But as long as people are willing to pay it, Disney's going to keep doing it. But even those people are eventually going to get tired of it. It's just getting so cost prohibitive to most people at this point in time. But this isn't the only time that they've mentioned this, guys. We talked about this before. We've heard this before. He talked about this at the earnings call, and we covered it on a video. He said about the Disney Plus and the streaming, we certainly look to continue to increase pricing in line with the value. He keeps throwing value around, but I don't think he understands what the actual word of value means.
No.
And a lot of providing value to consumers, and a lot of growth that we're seeing right now is because of the exceptional content that we've coming out of both of our movie and TV studios. That's obviously our proprietary content. So that will certainly enable us to increase pricing every time. Marvel's in the trash bin. Star Wars is in the trash bin, even though, so far Skeleton Crew wasn't bad. It was actually pretty good. But most of your stuff isn't great. And you had a couple movie wins, but, Moana's doing well, but people have said you could tell it was meant to be a TV show, not a movie.
Yeah, it's meh.
But your stuff isn't you are definitely not worth more money. And I know you're trying to get people to go to the ad-supported tiers because you make more through advertising, which again, suck it, though people said otherwise. I just want to point out that nothing you were offering is so wonderful that people are going to pay more for it. Eventually, it's going to hit a cap, especially when people found out you were using that, terms of service thing where if you agree to watch Disney Plus, you somehow waive rights to court hearing and only can do arbitration. Also did not help you. But the Disney difference is meaning something completely different than it was originally intended to mean. And it's not positive.
Yeah, that's just it. I mean, everybody is kind of turning on Disney. I mean, we've still got the lifestylers. We've still got but I don't, like, if you go out to the Disney YouTube channels, they're not nearly what they were.
No.
And the pandemic definitely, I think, broke the habit for a lot of people. And then when Disney came back online, it was like, oh my God, a lot of these practices that they were using just to kind of, I guess, mitigate the demand or whatever, they started putting them into play for everybody, everywhere. And they're like, oh yeah, we can just do reservations, and we can just do this, and we can upcharge for that, and we can upcharge. Oh yeah, hey, we can make a lot more money this way. A lot of people just noped out. And again, some of these Disney channels and Disney blogs used to be massive because the general public was interested and loved going to Disney, and now they do not.
It's just too expensive. It's too convoluted. It's so complicated. You can't just go. I mean, people complain when they did FastPass Plus for free because it still made extra steps and you had to plan things. But now it's like you have to plan everything. You have to, get your tickets, get your room, all that. Then you have to buy your Genie Pool Lightning Lane now. Lightning Lane, multi-pass, and then, or Lightning Lane Premier. And also then you have to schedule all of those. Unless you get the Lightning Lane Premier, then you can just show up. But it's really cost prohibitive because you're doubling your tickets, in some case more than doubling your tripling your ticket or whatever price.
Yeah.
And it's so ridiculous and it's so complicated and it's so expensive. And whatever you plan on your trip, add an extra zero because they're going to keep adding more upcharges. And by the time you get there, they're probably going to raise prices on food again or, something else.
Yeah.
It's just so unreasonable anymore.
And I look at the disrespect that they're showing to, the Disney legacy and the fans and the people that came before. And again, that was a good analogy that, Bob Iger's building versus, Michael Eisner's. But like, there's such disrespect. Nothing that is announced at Disney has gotten me excited. I used to get excited about announcements.
Well, they destroy Muppets.
They're destroying Muppets or destroying Rivers of America.
The Rivers of America thing. Well,
that's unforgivable.
They were held up for that. People were like, oh, no, the state of Florida is pushing back. They aren't.
No.
What happened was, in a nutshell, Disney was supposed to have permits. They filed permits. They were supposed to explain some things. They had like 20 points or something on there that they needed clarification on and better plans for. Disney didn't turn it in, and then they got a 10-day, if you don't turn this in, we're gonna pull your permit. You have to start all over again. Notice,
right.
And they worked out and got a month extension. It wasn't like the state of Florida is trying to kick their ass or anything like that. It was just paperwork. Disney just didn't do it for whatever reason, probably to stall. And, it might put them behind. But Rivers of America, they don't have to take down the whole Rivers of America. There's no reason to do it. It's really stupid to make the one waterway in Magic Kingdom that's pretty and calm and peaceful and take it out to stick a really loud cars attraction in there. And you know what? Make no mistake. It's not for more, things for guests to do. It's so they can charge each guest an e-ticket price.
I'm with you. I think eventually, because people thought that some Disney podcasters were crazy when they said that, Disney was going to start charging for preferential treatment. Mm-hmm. Because they're like, oh,
we used to have fast pass in the bathroom for an upcharge.
But they thought that they were crazy. They're like, oh, Disney's always been good about that. Fast passes are a perk for guests and free parking and all that.
And then he took free parking away.
And they took that away. And now fast passes you basically have to pay for.
Now, he brought back free parking, but you still have to pay for what was free before.
Right. So what is eventually going to happen. I agree with you 100%. I think you're not going to get access to the latest rides for free. You're going to go in and it'll include like all the older attractions. But if you want to ride the newest ride, you're going to have to pay extra for that because they're already doing it in other parks. You mentioned Knoebels. That's a great example. And Knoebels doesn't cost nearly as much as Disney. And I freaking love Knoebels. Outside of the Disney parks, I think Knoebels is like my favorite, but I used to go there all the time. But they do upcharge for specific rides. And
yeah, but again, you don't have to pay like $189 just to get in the door.
Yeah, but Disney's going to do that. They're going to be like, you're going to pay $200 to get in the gate, and people are laughing like that'll never happen. People thought it was ridiculous that the standard would be $100 plus a day to get in the gate at Disney. You're going to pay over $200 to get in the gate. And if you want to ride that brand new Marvel attraction, that brand new Star Wars thing, that whatever, you're going to pay an extra $25 a head to do it.
Yeah, because that's what they were doing before. Yeah. Like you either had to get in the virtual queue, which they made very limited on purpose, or you had to pay for a Lightning Lane access, single access for that ride. So, of course, when originally virtual queue was open for everyone, and they didn't do Lightning Lane, so they had it wide open. So it was still good, saw it quickly, but everybody had a chance. Now, if you don't get that free virtual queue, you got to pay, and you better believe they're limiting that. Like if it was like, a do round number, 1,000 people before could get in it, it's maybe like 300 now. So the other 600 have to pay. Yeah. Well, 700 have to pay. I can't math. 700 have to pay or whatever, just as an example. So that they can make sure they make more money off of you. And eventually, I just think they're just going to go to, well, you want to ride, you got to pay extra.
Yeah.
And it would be okay in a park that we get in for free, but you have to pay a ridiculous base price just to get in the door.
Yeah.
But they're a value, guys, because now we keep seeing that we have lots of value we aren't charging for. Well, good luck with that, Disney, because people already have a really bad opinion of you, and their opinion is in decline.
They're rubbing it in your face. I mean, that's the thing. They're so flippant about it. They're rubbing it in your face. We're going to gouge you. Ha, ha, ha. We're going to give it value. Yeah, whatever. We're going to make more money off these suckers.
Why do we do what we do now instead of like being on the media list and stuff? This is why.
There's no, I don't even, I mean, this is what, I talked about this on the Disney podcast before. I'm like, I don't even want to go. I mean, I'm at the point now where I think about it, I'm like,
well, Epic Universe I would go to.
Yeah, Epic Universe I'm excited about. The excitement I have for Epic Universe is what I used to have for Disney.
Well, Epic Universe is more Epcot-y than Disney is, It's more Disney than Disney. Yeah. You have people, the creativity, the way they're coming up with these things, it's so superior to like, we're reskinning, Splash Mountain for Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and it looks like a bunch of plants and some screens and a few animatronics. Yeah. It's significantly different. But are we going to wrap this up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up, guys. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.